So I'll be honest, I've never played a mobile JRPG ever before, so I went into Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent with pretty much no expectations. But I wanted to give this a fair shot, so I committed to playing for around 10 hours or so, really diving into the story, exploring the world, learning the systems, and seeing whether or not this game is actually something that's worth your time. So rather than dipping in and dipping out, I treated it the same way that I would with any console JRPG, and I think that really helped me understand what it's doing. So before we talk any more about Octopath Traveler, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're not already. Leave your thoughts down below in the comments. Have you played Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent or any of the other Octopath Traveler games? And also I do want to let you guys know that this video is sponsored by Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent. I gotta take a breath. How many times can I say Octopath Traveler Champion of the Continent? It's a lot. So anyway, my thoughts are my own. I'm not being told to say anything specific, but let's get to the video. This is actually a pretty cool game. So the first thing I want to talk about is performance and the overall feel for playing this game. I spent most of the time playing this on my wife's iPad 10th generation because I really just wanted a larger screen for that more traditional comfort experience. And honestly, I would say it suits the game pretty perfectly. It runs really well. No stutters or slow down. It genuinely feels like a polished premium experience that you'd expect on, a console, for example. And also I tested it on my iPhone 15 Pro and it runs great there too, but personally I love having a bigger screen, so playing it on a tablet makes it feel a little bit closer to a handheld console JRPG, which is exactly the vibe that I wanted. It's one of those games where you can sit back and chill out and slowly lose track of time as you play. And visually, this looks fantastic. That signature Octopath HD 2D art style translates really well. The environments have detail, the characters have personality, and nothing about it feels cheap or compromised. And the Japanese voice acting here is really strong. The music is genuinely excellent, and that combination gives the game a really cozy but cinematic feel that draws you in. It's a world that I think you're actually going to want to spend time in, which is kind of essential for a JRPG. Now, initially, the touch controls might feel weird, especially if you're not used to playing a game like this, like me, but it was really easy to get the hang of, and it didn't feel clunky at all. Just some quick swipes to point your characters where you want them to go, and honestly, I'd rather be doing this than doom scrolling. It's a lot more fun. Now, the combat is where this game really started to win me over. The boost mechanic is a big part of the strategy. You build up boost power over turns and then unload big attacks when it matters most. It's usually worth attacking for a bit and then going all in, especially because even regular enemies have some pretty chunky HP bars. There's something really satisfying about lining up a boosted attack and watching it break through defenses. It's really cool. Now, there are recommended level ranges for areas and they're worth paying attention to, but if you push into something challenging and still manage to pull off a win, the XP reward is absolutely worth it. I would say it encourages a bit of risk taking in that classic JRPG way where you think, I probably shouldn't be here yet, but maybe I can pull this off. And when you do, it feels really great. Something that took me a bit of time to realize, but completely changed the way how I approach any fight is you can swap characters between the front and back row in the middle of the fight. Being able to rotate party members helps keep momentum, I think, sustain your boost pressure and control the fight instead of getting overwhelmed. And once I figured that out, combat clicked in a whole new way. Bosses went from feeling like brick walls to fun puzzle-like challenges where I actually felt in control. And if you're really struggling, you can use your rubies, which is the in-game currency, which I'll talk about a little bit more later, to resume the battle with full health and full boost power. This makes things a little bit easier to swallow in those difficult moments, and it's a nice balance between challenge and accessibility. Now, I will say there is a little bit of a learning curve with all the menus that's built into this game. I would really just recommend playing it, learning as you go, and figuring out how you can actually use these menus to your advantage to learn more about the world, the characters, how to even get characters as well. There's just a lot that you can find in this game. Now, like I said before with rubies, this is the game's premium currency. You can either earn or buy with real money to unlock new characters. Feels like a bit of a blind bag system. Sometimes you can get something really powerful, sometimes you can get duplicates, and occasionally you pull something really special that completely changes your team dynamic. What I really appreciate most about this is that I never felt like I was at a disadvantage for not spending real money. At no point did I feel forced to pay to progress or have fun. It's absolutely not in your face at all to spend any real money, in fact, in this game. And I'd say, you know what? Stick with the characters you unlock, build up a team you enjoy, and just play naturally. Early on, I ended up getting Serenoa from Triangle Strategy, and that was a really cool moment, and it made my party feel personal to me, which I love. I mean, you guys know I'm a huge fan of Triangle Strategy. And with this game, there's so many growing character collaborations, and I'm eager to find out who we might be meeting next. The sky's the limit here because Square has such a deep catalog of characters. Now, the amount of content in this game surprised me, considering this is a free-to-play mobile JRPG. There's a ton of stuff to do. There's tons of quests, lots of characters to meet and recruit, new locations to explore. It genuinely feels like something that you can play for many, many hours without running out of meaningful things to do. It certainly doesn't feel like filler content either. All of the stuff here feels intentional. The gameplay is split across 2 continents, Astera and Solista. If you know Octopath Traveler, these will be some familiar places for you, and eventually you can move between them and bring your characters along with you. Once I cleared the Chosen chapter with the character Sail, the game really opened up, and I felt like I was able to bounce between different missions and areas pretty easily. The variety here kept everything feeling fresh, especially if you're like me, and sometimes like switching things up instead of sticking to one path the entire time. I mean, this is a huge game. Now, normally I prefer a more linear JRPG story, but here I didn't mind the structure because I was invested enough in multiple storylines, and I wanted to see them through. Being able to shift that focus when I felt like it kept the pacing interesting. Now, it is also worth mentioning that Octopath 0, which is the newest release in the series, is essentially a re-release or a repackage of Champions of the Continent. Again, like I said before, this version is built as a free-to-play experience with a huge amount of content packed in. It genuinely feels like a substantial JRPG experience that happens to be on mobile, and that still blows my mind a little bit. I haven't had time to dip into Octopath Traveler 0 yet, so this has been a really great experience for me, and it makes me actually want to dive into the console version, and you may find that yourself as well. Even if I kept on playing this one, still feels like a fully fledged console experience, and I'm genuinely excited to keep going on here beyond what I'm saying in this video. And if you're curious about how these 2 experiences can connect, there's actually something pretty cool coming up. A character from Octopath Traveler 0, his name is Erek. He's like a traveler of memories. He's a scholar with an extraordinary passion for researching soul stones, widely recognized in academic circles, and in stark contrast, he has almost 0 life skills and no concept of money. So it's exciting that he'll be joining this game from January 29th, which is a great reason to jump in now or keep progressing if you're already playing. It's another example of how this game continues to grow and tie into the wider Octopath universe over time. I mean, I would say it took me a little bit of time to understand everything fully, but the more I explored menus, experimented with upgrading, unlocked new characters, and really enjoyed engaging with all the systems of the game, the more rewarding the experience became. I would say it's the kind of game that gives you back what you put into it. Initially, I went from being curious or learning about the game to actually being excited to see what else it had in store for me. And every day there's new things to unlock with daily bonuses or gem rewards. It's definitely worth signing on for some of those because they might just give you a leg up in those difficult fights, especially being able to unlock new characters pretty much every time you sign in. So overall, I mean, I went into Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent curious, a little skeptical, and expecting something fairly simple, but instead I walked away feeling genuinely impressed. The combat is satisfying, especially once you understand boosting and row swapping. The world is packed with a ton of content. The presentation is beautiful, of course, and we'd expect this from an HD 2D title. The voice acting and the music are strong, and even as somebody who doesn't normally play mobile JRPGs ever, I found myself wanting to keep playing and discovering more. So if you want to try this yourself, I would highly encourage you guys to hit the link in the description. Thank you again to Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent for sponsoring this video. Again, I really appreciate being able to be a small part of this, and maybe exposing you guys to this really cool game. Again, that you can just literally download for free and spend hours of time, which is exactly what I did. And I was totally hooked on the different paths. I mean, you could choose wealth, power, and fame. I started with power, and I really enjoyed the way that story went. And when I got bored with that, I moved to different storylines. I mean, again, so much stuff to do. So thank you so much for watching today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave your thoughts down below. Are you playing this? I would love to know. Otherwise, we'll see you on another video next week. Bye-bye.